I'm going to be on a soapbox a little bit for this one because it is something that strikes a nerve, and I think is really true. And that is that the arts are dying. And I'm not just talking about fine art, theater, dance, photography, music. All these things, the budgets are being cut out of schools because I guess somebody's decided that it is the least important of all the activities. Like, well, football brings in revenue, and we can't cut math, so we have to cut the arts. And I know it sounds extremely self-serving coming from me, but I believe it couldn't be further from the truth. I believe the arts are extremely important. And I am talking about all the arts because, like when I was in high school, I took a couple art classes, but I was a theater kid. That's what I did. I did the shows after school. Katie saw me. She knows. I did it. You can verify. Yes, she's nodding. She's nodding. But it's just you and me. It's weird. I talk to myself. I know that if you're watching these videos, I might be preaching a little bit to the choir here, but what I want to really do is start a conversation. I think that this is something that doesn't get brought up enough. I mean, we've got so much stuff going on in the world. Who's to say, like, well, art education is something that needs to be on the tip of everybody's tongue when we're on the brink of war with countries or whatever it is. And in my opinion, still very important, still extremely important. When I think about the school system, and maybe some of you guys are school teachers out there, and you can tell me if I'm off on this or not. It seems like we're trying to produce drones, like with the standardized tests, and everybody's like, okay, you get 2 credit hours of math, 2 credit hours of social studies, 2 credit hours of English, 2 hours of PE. God forbid. But what does that do? That leads to everybody kind of thinking and learning the exact same thing. I mean, that's what makes universities a little bit more enticing because you can customize your education program, right? Art does not have language barriers. It allows you to think abstract, and that abstract reasoning is something that is so important in not only just the arts, but day-to-day life. Being able to kind of take a step back and reflect. I think a lot of people are not necessarily very self-aware, or they don't take the time to just kind of step back and just look at things like you should with your art from a distance to try to get some perspective on it. In order to achieve what others won't, you have to do what others don't. And that extra education and the creativity is important. So, what are we to do about any of this? I don't know, besides this conversation. And there's also something that Jerry's Autorama is doing. We're doing something called I Am Not a Robot, I Create. What's the URL? IamNotARobot.me. So what is I Am Not a Robot? Well, basically the premise is trying to remind society, remind people, especially those that are already artists, that they're not a robot. They can create, they can free think, they can do their own thing. And it's basically this kind of online movement we put together through social media and these t-shirts. Well, can you grab a t-shirt for me? I'll show them what these t-shirts are. And the whole idea is it's just a conversation starter. If somebody sees a shirt that says, I'm not a robot, and it has your own customized artwork on it, it might get people thinking. Thank you. Okay, this is all packaged up. All right, what size did you get me? Small. This is not going to fit. All right, but it should fit on screen very nicely. Yeah, it's a soft tee. It's a really nice t-shirt. And these t-shirts are designed to be painted on to create your own custom shirt, whether you just tie-dye it or you just do your own kind of like stylized writing on it, or you do a full painting. There's all kinds of options. And Jerry's is giving these away for free with any $50 order. And there's like a whole contest involved. Like if you post a photo of yourself in your customized t-shirt, you have a chance of being a randomized winner of a $100 gift card. All you have to do is wear the shirt, hashtag I am not a robot, not I'm not a robot, I am not a robot, and tag at Jerry's Autorama on Instagram, and make sure it's public. Those are like the things so that we can see it. If it's not public, we don't really know what you're showing us. Yeah, but I don't know, like, will it change the world? It's a shirt. But you know what? If it gets at least one person thinking, that can start a chain reaction. That's the whole premise of that, one free thinker can shake up the entire system. So do you believe there should be art education reform? Do you think that it should be added back to the schools? And if so, well, let's talk about solutions. I mean, what are some things that we can cut out or add? In North Carolina, it wasn't that long ago, we didn't have a lottery. I mean, this is we're in the Bible Belt here, and it's okay, but the lottery was just not something that people were looking for. As soon as we added that lottery, all that money went to education. That was an education infusion. I can only imagine what the legalization of marijuana is doing for those states that want to bring in more revenue, and it takes money out of bad people's hands and puts it into public programs because it's all taxable. I don't know, I don't want to get up here and be like, we should legalize drugs. Like, that's not the point of this video. The point of the video is to just kind of find out, like, where do you stand on the issue of art reform in schools, especially public schools. Private schools, I went to private school for 1 year. I was a horrible student, so they didn't keep me in. It wasn't worth the money. Either you're a good student or you're not. And that 1 year, the amount of arts I had throughout my week were unbelievable. We had guitar lessons, we had theater lessons, we had art lessons. It was really awesome. And then you go back to public school and it's like, well, an elective could be 2D art or something, So Burning Oak Studios. Burning Oak Studios actually created an entire line of DVDs called Home Art Studio, which, although targeted towards homeschooling markets, are really great for any parent of a kid that wants to supplement their kid's public education in art. We have Lindsay Volin, who's a certified art instructor, K through 12, really focusing on that basically K through 5 age group of different DVDs and lessons so that you can supplement your own kids' artwork. Just look up officialhomeartstudio.com if you're curious about that. But I hate that I keep plugging things. It's not the point of this. But let me plug Jerry's Live. Please check out our Jerry's Live, which is streaming both on Facebook and YouTube at 5:30 p.m. on Tuesdays with your host, Amy Gardner-Dean, my spirit animal. And we love each other. She's awesome. She's awesome. You know it. I mean, one person say they don't like Amy. Come on. Also, if you like this video, if you have something to say to this video, please give us a like, give us a subscribe. We're trying to start that conversation, start that movement. The more people we get involved, the better. And it's not just for the fine arts. It's for the arts. It's for the sake of humanity. And I know that sounds really like, okay, I told you at the beginning, soapbox, but really I believe in it. I believe in it. I believe that if I am being held to a standardized way of being educated, what makes me different from another person besides maybe my personality, you know what I mean? And how much less personality might you have? But you are not a robot. I mean, you're not like a cog in the machine. And you're not following me on Instagram at Mike Not Jerry. I got you that time. Yeah. And you're not, I don't know why I always have to point at Will, like, you didn't see it. And you're not following me on Instagram at Mike Not Jerry, where I hope that you would also tag at Mike Not Jerry if you post these t-shirts or in any of your artwork. I love to see what people are doing. A lot of you guys tag me on a lot of stuff, and I always try to give it a like or a comment if I can. But in the meantime, what do I post up there? Who knows? Fun stuff, behind the scenes stuff, pictures of my daughter, pictures of things that are going on in my life, pictures of art, whatever it is. It's whatever I want. Nobody controls it but me. And, well, Jamie creates some stuff for it, but, I'm posting it. Look, a robot did not create this shirt because only human error will lead to I am not a robot. I create.